Hello, and welcome to the Bluegrass Sports Show, or
The BS Show. We're two fat guys that talk crap.
I'm Carl,
I'm the daddy. Actually, he's the daddy. I'm Perry.
the animal. And today we're coming at you with
You're
our
still blocking out his
pick.
number.
God bless Perry.
Here, I'll scoot closer. There. Now you're fine. Now you're
Jeez
fine.
Louise.
Okay, it's your turn.
Anyway, so today we're coming at you. I think you just want to be more in the video. I think you keep scooting Shaq down when I'm not looking and trying to push me out of the video.
They tune in to see me. Damn.
So today we're coming at you with our picks for the top 5 boxers of all time. And both of us have limited knowledge
That's
this.
giving me a lot of
but we are going to give it our best shot. It was requested, so we would like to do it. And real quick, I haven't been saying this last few videos, so I apologize, but thanks to all of you guys that have viewed just finish.
He would like to thank everybody that's been taking their time out of their busy days and lives. Of course, we understand a lot of you are parents, a lot of you had jobs, school, maybe in some situations, but you're taking time out of your lives to listen to us ramble about stuff. And some stuff you may agree with, some stuff you may disagree, but you're watching, and it means a lot to us. So we would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
It does. Even though I can't speak, it does. So today, though, hopefully we have a really good video for you guys.
I said it so much better than you could have.
I know it. It was fantastic. Anyway.
Go ahead.
I went last time. You go.
Okay, I'll go first this time. But I'm telling you, I'm going with Floyd Mayweather at number 5.
All right, that's fine.
I mean, Floyd, he is what he is.
Oh,
me and him have had a lot of debate privately about Floyd.
And you won me over.
Well, I won him over. You just heard him say.
That is the first time, but you have won me over.
50-0 with 27 knockouts. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know anything about boxing. I know a bare minimum, but I'm going to tell you, you can't. He's a 15-time world champion across 4 different weight classes.
Right.
The man.
I mean, we're talking about numbers speak for themselves.
Yes.
And like I said, the only reason, all right, for one, I don't like Floyd Mayweather at all, not in the least little bit. But also, when it comes to him as a boxer,
now you can shoot this way if you want to.
I just don't think. Forget it. I just don't think
You heard it. I tried.
He is as good as 50-0 suggests. And this is where you won me over, is because you brought up my argument for Wilt. And yes, I believe Wilt's numbers would dip. I don't believe they would drop very much, but I believe they would drop a little. So if I look at that same aspect toward Floyd Mayweather, his numbers are going to take a toll. But will they take a huge toll or a small toll? I don't know. And it may be that they only take a small toll.
And we'll never know.
And we'll never know. Same that is where you won me over at. But I couldn't justify placing him at number 5. That's that part. He wasn't, at first, he wasn't even in my top 5.
So who you got at 5?
My number 5 is Mike Tyson.
Well.
My number 5 is Mike Tyson.
I thought he was talking. He spent all his time talking Floyd.
I know, but he's not my number 5. He's my number 4.
Okay, well,
I've got him in there, but he's my number 4.
We'll talk about Mike Tyson.
So Mike Tyson, and the big argument against Mike Tyson is that Mike Tyson arguably didn't fight in the best era of boxing anyway. As well, I mean, as Mayweather, they were some very, very good fighters in his day.
Yes.
But I don't know about all-time greats.
The argument against Tyson, and I'm sorry for interrupting.
You're fine.
Is that he was, I think, 41 or 42-0 before he lost to Buster Douglas. The issue with him is that anytime he fought a high-caliber fighter, he lost.
Right.
And not saying the guys that he defeated wasn't of quality competition.
Yeah.
It's just whenever he fought guys on his own level, he didn't win.
Right. But all he really had going for him is
power.
That was it. That's all he had.
Knockout power left or right.
And I mean, granted, his power was a lot of power, but that is all he had. So I've got him at number 5, and I gave Floyd the nod at number 4.
Well, we've already talked about Floyd. I talked about him at 5. You talked about him at 4.
So who's your number 4?
My number 4 is Rocky Marciano.
Ooh, that's a great one.
49-0.
I like it.
Of course, the first.
He'd probably be my number 6.
the only undefeated world heavyweight champion.
I like it.
Only. Floyd's undefeated. He's not a heavyweight class
Right.
undefeated boxer. Let me read through just a few stats, and I do apologize. I'm having to read these off. I'm not a boxing guy. 49-0 with 43 knockouts. As stated, only undefeated world heavyweight champion in the history of boxing. And he's also regarded, we can't attest to this now because it's a completely different era. In his time, he's regarded to as one of the most popular, not just boxers, but athletes that was alive in his time. So to me, you got to go with The Rock here.
Yeah, he's tough. He is very tough. So now we're on to
my number 3.
Your number 3.
This is where I have Mr. Lewis, Joe Louis.
Mm.
Now, Joe Louis, once again, 68-3.
He's probably my number 6. That's only because, for one, I'm a power guy. I really like power, so Mike Tyson got the nod. But Floyd Mayweather, you're only getting in here off your numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Or one of these two guys would be in that spot.
Now, something about Joe Louis that I learned whenever I was doing some research about him, he had 54 knockouts, and he was world champion for almost 12 years, like 11 years and 8 months.
Right.
He had the most successful title defenses all time, 25. He never lost his title. He retired not undefeated. He retired as world heavyweight champion.
Right.
He never lost a title match.
No, he was tough. And at my number 3, like I said, I lean on power. And my number 3 is the big Foreman. George Foreman. He's my number 3. And George's, though, was different. Tyson couldn't take a hit like Foreman could take a hit. Mm-hmm. He had power, but he could take a lot of power, too.
I know George Foreman far more for his grills, for his cooking material. I made a lot of dinner off of the George Foreman grill. But go right ahead.
Foreman was the man. And Foreman, like I said, I mean, he could take so many hits. You could beat the crap out of this guy. But he wasn't one that's going to dance around the ring. Not at all. This is a big dude. But he's going to sit there and he's going to trade licks with you. And he's going to win every time if you just sit there and trade licks. He's going to win hands down. You couldn't hurt the guy. And strength, they say strength is the last thing to go. That's true with Foreman. Foreman was fighting up until he's 50-year-old, and he was still knocking people out. Still had that power to knock somebody out. So he never lost his strength, and he was a monster. But he could take a hit. To me, that's what places him well above Mike Tyson, in my eyes, was his ability to take a hit. Mm-hmm. And he beat great boxers.
Yes.
Whereas, you mentioned that Mike Tyson didn't. Foreman did. He beat great boxers and was taking shots from them, and they were just bouncing off like it wasn't crap.
Agreed.
He was a phenomenal boxer. But it wasn't maybe not so much his pure boxing skill, but just him being him. You know what I mean? So who is... or
your number 2.
My number 2. At my number 2, I go with Sugar Ray Robinson.
Agreed.
Really?
Yep.
All right. So, and this guy is fantastic, and you can attest to this because you've probably got numbers. Yes. So go ahead, and then we'll talk.
This guy I almost put ahead of Muhammad.
I thought about it, but no, I've got to get.
ESPN has him ahead of Muhammad.
I don't care what ESPN does.
Anyways, Sugar Ray Robinson, he was undefeated as an amateur boxer. Now, as a professional, 128, 1-2.
Yeah.
Now, he had 84 knockouts as a pro. So, I mean, the numbers speak for himself.
Right.
Sugar Ray Robinson, arguably the most successful boxer in the history of the sport.
I agree.
The issue being with these guys, the guys on my list, now he's got some guys on his list that boxed with Muhammad.
Right.
The guys on my list all boxed before Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
Or boxed after, in the words of Mayweather.
Right.
Tyson just barely missed him.
Right.
But it's hard to imagine, and I'm going to go ahead and jump up to my number 1. Of course.
Yeah.
We both have Sugar Ray at number 2. Whenever you jump up to number 1, and of course you have Muhammad here.
Right.
Of course, Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, Louisville's own. You're looking at someone who boxed against all-time greats, but they were all-time greats for his era. And they're probably in the top 10, probably top 10 to 20 boxers of all time.
Yeah.
But what's widely regarded in my studies that I learned about the history of boxing, it's widely regarded that before Ali was the golden age of boxing, and that the greatest boxers boxed before Ali. And we had a discussion to where Ali said that he's the greatest.
Right.
And he said it at an early age.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why he said that, and that's just part of Ali. That's Muhammad Ali. I can't say without question that he is the greatest of all time. That's why I considered putting Sugar Ray
Yeah.
there.
But when you're bringing up numbers, right? And Sugar Ray is phenomenal. I mean, obviously, number 2. I've got him at number 2 all time. I hold him to a very high standard.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm looking at is more so not necessarily the numbers. I've watched these guys fight.
Okay.
And watching them fight, I feel like Muhammad's the better boxer.
Muhammad 56-5 with 37 knockouts. What sets Muhammad Ali apart to me, truthfully, is his cultural impact.
Oh, okay.
That's why I placed him at number 1. Just being straight, legitimate with you.
Right.
I've seen Ali box some. I watched some highlights of Sugar Ray and Marciano. I didn't really watch much of Joe Louis. But as far as in ring, you can make a case for Sugar Ray Robinson over Ali. What you can't make a case for, and this is arguable not just in the world of boxing, but just as an athlete as a whole, is his cultural impact.
Right.
His influence on the African American community, on the black athlete himself.
Right.
This last year, whenever he passed away, that's all you heard about for 3 days was Muhammad Ali, and that's all the sports coverage that you had for 3 days, and that just speaks to it's an testament to his influence. Of course, even in his illness, he was unbelievably generous. He was proud to be a Kentuckian.
Right.
He was unbelievably generous to his home state, to the African American community, and to the human race as a whole. Now, was he an arrogant piece of crap at times in life? Absolutely. You talk about Jordan's arrogance. Ali was Ali's probably the most pompous, arrogant athlete of all time.
Yeah.
But there was another side of Ali that was great.
And that's what I think a lot of Muhammad's arrogance was a lot of show. He was trying to put on a show.
Yeah, and I can see that as well.
Yeah. Because his went above and beyond. But that's what I felt like. I felt like it was more along the lines of him trying to put on a show and gain fans and gain, different things.
He's a draft dodger.
Yeah.
I mean, he essentially converted the Muslim to avoid the draft.
Yeah.
Because he refused to go.
Right. So, but I think it was more for show.
He lost his boxing license because of that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he didn't box for like 2 or 3 years because he lost his boxing license over avoiding the draft. Just true story.
Well, but when we talk about the greatest of all time, I've watched Ali dodge 12 punches in 20 seconds. Yeah, just flipping around.
And then wiggle his hips.
Nobody could touch him. I mean, he was fantastic. And they would sit there. He'd also just cover up the rope it up. Right? He'd cover up, let you pound away, and you're just tiring yourself out. He's not getting hurt. You're punching his arms.
The shuffle.
And he was, watching them box, to me, Ali was better. He was the better boxer. The numbers may fight that, but as you know, I'm not a full stat-based, you know what I'm saying? So I'm more along the lines of what I see, and what I see, Muhammad Ali is a better boxer.
And I'm not trying to argue against him being number 1.
Right. No, I know, but there are points against him. Right. I'm just saying why I place him at number 1 because I can easily see that argument there.
I'm so glad we got through this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Boxing is not me.
And what I'm proud about is that right now we're at 14 minutes. So this says we finally kept this one down.
I remember people say they like the 20 to 25
I don't
more
care.
we need to be.
It's a little longer than I want. I do care. If you guys like it, that's fine.
He has estrogen running through his face. He is a
comment on there if you... I just care about my viewers, man.
I care about my viewers, too.
If you like it at the length of 20, 25 minutes, comment that, and I will know. Because some people that stay in this obviously only talk to Perry because they've not let me know anything. So... But
I'm not the one you can talk to.
Yeah, except you're the one who does the least.
And
but it's okay.
He's halfway off the screen. Keep in mind, I tried
to pushed me over here.
I did not.
You may have asked me to scoot back.
I adjusted Shaq to where you could come back.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe button. Anything you want to add? All right. So, have a good day.